What's up? It's Tice, and in this video, I'm going to dive into how I made $6,481 phone flipping. And I'm not going to lie, a little bit over 3,000 of this was actual profit. But a lot of people overcomplicate this, and this is actually very easy, very simple. You don't need to sell a kidney. You don't need to gamble. You don't need to build a bunch of websites. Like, all you need to do is just get people to fucking sell you a phone. Like, that's all you need to do. You just need to get people to sell you phones, right? So let's just dive straight into this shit. Let's say your goal is let's say your goal is $8,000 profit, right? Let's say you want to make $8,000 profit a month, which is a pretty good goal. Let's reverse engineer this, and let me just show you how simple this shit actually is. So if I want to make $8,000 profit in a month, that is 80 phones at $100 profit per phone, right? So all you need to hit that $8,000 profit mark is 80 phones at $100 profit. And I'm sure you guys know, almost like everybody has an iPhone. Like everybody they have an iPhone. Almost everybody in like the fucking United States has an iPhone, right? So all you need to do is just find 80 people in your local area to sell you a phone, right? So when you're in your 25-mile radius, 20-mile radius, 30-mile radius, there is hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in your 25-mile radius, right? And all you have to do is just get 80 of them to sell you a phone, right? So that's about 3 phones a day. Right, that's a little bit over $8,000 profit if we're getting 3 phones a day at $100 profit. But just think about that. That all you have to do is just get 3 phones a day. So this $8,000 profit, which is actually more, all you need is 3 phones a day. That's all you need to hit this goal. And this is a lot more simple than you think. So first thing we're going to dive into is your market, right? So, this is a perfect way to describe this. How I market, because how I market for buying phones is a lot different than the rest of people on how they do things in the phone flipping space, and that's exactly why I'm making so much money, right? Because I do things and I approach things a little bit differently. So when people normally are trying to get phones to buy and resell, normally they start doing things like outreach on Facebook Marketplace or something like that, right? Which is the complete shitty way. I'm not going to dive into it, but it's just a shitty way to get phones, right? And that's why I don't do it, and that's why I approach things a little bit differently. But let's say there's this is the perfect way to explain this. Let's say there's 2 hot dog stands in New York, right? Let's say the first hot dog stand is in the absolute pinnacle of New York, right in the perfect spot, a shit ton of foot traffic, and let's say this hot dog stand has the best hot dogs in the state, right? And then let's say this other second hot dog stand in New York, it's not in the best area, but there is a lot of foot traffic, and the hot dogs aren't even that good. But with this second hot dog stand, everybody that walks past is absolutely starving. Which one do you think is going to make more sales? Well, obviously the one who every single person that walks past is absolutely starving, right? So this kind of leads into exactly how I market for phone flipping and market on how to get people to sell me phones, because the people that sell me phones are absolutely starving. They're starving for cash. They need cash and they have a phone, right? So the way you go about actually targeting these people is Facebook paid ads, right? And this is very simple. I'm gonna break it down all right now. You don't need a fancy landing page. You don't need a fancy website. You don't need anything fancy. But the way you're getting these people to come to you is Facebook paid ads. And these people see your ad and they send you a message and they want to sell you a phone. They want to sell you their phone. And you're targeting a starving market. Everybody that wants to sell you a phone, they're starving. They want quick cash, whether it's because their rent is due or their car payment's due or they need money for some reason. For some reason, they need quick cash. They're in a sticky situation, a shitty situation, or they just want quick cash, right? They want to sell you a phone today. That's why they reached out to you. They want to sell their phone ASAP for cash, right? Because that is your offer in this space. Your offer is quick cash for iPhones, right? That is your service. So you are marketing to a starving audience. And that's why Facebook paid ads works so well, because you have the leverage. You're not reaching out to another person to try and get them to sell you a phone, try and beg them to sell you a phone. People are begging you to buy their phone, right? And that's why this is so easy to actually market this and actually get people to sell you a phone. So really all you're doing, like this Facebook ad, again, it's super, super simple. You're just letting your local area know you pay cash for phones, right? So, hey, Houston, we're paying cash for phones. We buy, new phones, we buy used phones, we buy cracked phones, we buy blacklisted, we buy financed phones. And you're just letting them know the phones you buy, and you're getting a starving audience come to you that want to sell you a phone because they're in need for quick cash. That is their pain point. The Facebook ad does not work without targeting a pain point, right? And which their pain point is they need quick cash because they're probably in a shitty situation. So that's really the whole marketing side of things. I'm not going to go any more in depth or tell you any more marketing strategies, because this is all you need to get to $10,000 profit a month. If I'm going to be completely honest, all you need is Facebook paid ads. And I swear on everything. You could watch my last video with Amir, one of my students, and he's making $10,000 of profit a month purely through marketing with Facebook paid ads. Now the next thing we're going to look at is your actual service. So actually what you do is, obviously you just pay cash for phones. So this is what you do, right? This is like your offer here. Your offer is you pay cash for phones. And you're probably saying, well, if it was that simple, everybody would be doing it, right? If it was that simple, then everybody would be doing this, and it would be too easy, and everybody would be making $10,000 profit a month, right? Well, there actually is people doing this, yes, right? There's a decent amount of people doing phone flipping, but it is super, super niche. But not many people are doing this. That's why there's such a gap in the market right now, because there's so many people that are outreaching to try and get their phones, or they're just doing some other bullshit to try and get phones, and they're not running Facebook paid ads. Whether they just don't know how to run them, which is obviously most of the reason why people don't run Facebook paid ads is they don't want to run them, or they're maybe too scared of spending money on the Facebook paid ads. What if they don't work? What if this? What if that? Right? A whole bunch of bullshit goes through people's minds, and that's why they never even start doing anything in the first place. And by the way, if you do want to learn exactly how I run Facebook paid ads and you want help with this, you could book a call with me using the first link in the description, and I'll help you out. But whether it's because they don't know how to run them, or they don't want to spend the money on the Facebook paid ads, because really you're spending these Facebook paid ads at between like $10 to $20 a day, and that's going to get you the best results. But this is why your service is different, and why you're going to make so much more money, because you're offering quick cash for phones, right? That's your offer. And you have the leverage because you're marketing through Facebook paid ads, where people normally are outreaching to other people to beg them to try and get that customer to sell them a phone, right? Whereas you're approaching it a lot differently, where they're begging you for you to buy their phone. And when it comes to your service specifically, how you're going to beat your competition and absolutely crush your competition in the ground, first of all, this is something I cannot teach, is you need some sort of drive and a fire under your ass to actually make this work and actually dive into this, right? Because a lot of these phone flippers that I see, they're just bullshitters, and they just see this like thing as like a chore, right? They just see this as a chore and a job. And if you're just above the bare minimum, and you do above the bare minimum, and you have some sort of drive in you to make this work and actually put in the effort, put in the time, put in the actions, you're going to blow all these fucking dudes out the water, because all these dudes are pussies. All these phone flippers are absolute pussies. I'm just going to be completely honest. So if you have an ounce of drive in you, some effort, you are going to crush all of these dudes. And here's the simple things really that you're going to be like, that's all I need to do to fucking crush these guys. Yes, this is all you need to do. First of all, what you need to do is build up trust with the people that are selling you phones, or the people that are going to be selling you a phone. So this is the bare minimum shit that people are not doing. Building trust with their customers, right? Building trust, I mean, posting videos of you meeting up with your customers, that you actually do this shit, getting reviews, posting a picture with a customer with cash in his hand. Let me share my screen with you real quick and show you some of the clients I'm working with of how they're building trust. So these are just a few examples of building up trust with your customer, because you have to realize that some people need to see people that are relatable to them meeting up with you for them to actually meet up with you. So for example, let's say I'm in the most ghetto, crazy, terrible area in town, right? And the only people that are in my town are like, let's say they're like Bloods, let's say they're Crips, let's say like, this is a very extreme example, but let's say he posts a bunch of reels of him meeting up with these Bloods and Crips and all that, right? And then let's say he posts a reel of, let's say somebody posts an Instagram reel of him meeting up with a scrawny little white dude and he gives him cash for his phone. I'm going to be like, a scrawny little white dude's going to see that and be like, oh, like, that guy looks like me. That guy is relatable to me. So I'm able to sell this guy a phone now, knowing that somebody relatable to me is actually meeting up with these people and selling these guys phones, right? Same thing. Whereas if it's like a mother of four, right? If she sees that you are also meeting her demographic and somebody that is relatable to her, a wife of four, a mother of four, and she sees that you're posting that, it builds trust, and it builds like, okay, I could sell this guy a phone too. Or let's say the same thing for a teenager. If a teenager sees another teenager selling you a phone, they're going to be like, oh, well, that guy is just like me. I could sell this guy a phone now, right? Because it's just relatable, right? All you're trying to be is just relatable, and you're just trying to build trust up with an audience and get all the demographics of types of people to be able to trust you to sell you a phone. So a good way of doing this is posting Instagram Reels or TikToks of just meeting up with all different types of people. A regular white dude who's a ginger, then another white dude who's a ginger is going to be like, okay, why don't I go meet up with this guy? Like, he looks the same as me. He looks, he was cool with this dude, and this guy was able to sell him a phone and actually get cashed out without any problems. So I could probably go sell this dude a phone now, right? And then same thing. This is another one of my clients, and you're pulling a crazy amount of views in from these videos too. So they're not only going to build trust, but they're also going to obviously get you a shit ton more phones. But yeah, just posting relatable content. This builds a lot of trust. So again, like a mom right here, that's going to build trust with a mom. Another one right here, like I'm sure you guys understand the point, but build trust, go above and beyond, and post your customers. Make sure that your business is legit, because no other phone flipper is doing this. No other phone flipper is doing this. Like, I promise you, everybody in your area is probably just bullshitting, right? So this is a great example of going above and beyond, and that's why this dude made $10,000 profit last month, because he's going above and beyond. And it's just building trust with your audience. It's not anything crazy. It's not anything special. It's not anything that you have to go out of your way to do. It's just building trust with your audience. And that's what's going to get you so many more phones. So many more phones, I can guarantee you. And then another one of my clients, like, again, just building trust. People know he's legit, because obviously, boom, got a guy holding up, thumbs up. Hey, I just cashed this dude out. I just bought this dude's phone. No one, hey, I just bought this dude's phone. If you want me to buy your phone, send us a DM. So stupid, simple shit like that, just building trust. And another thing is just doing more marketing, right? So obviously, really just doing what the people, the phone flippers in your local area are not doing, which 9 times out of 10, they're not doing Facebook paid ads, right? So that mainly solves all the problems right there. It's just by doing Facebook paid ads, you're already ahead of 99% of other phone flippers. And then also just posting Instagram Reels, and again, like through these Facebook paid ads, you will build up connections, and you'll start to get reoccurring customers through your trust building, like just marketing with Facebook paid ads, and then also posting Instagram Reels or TikToks, just showing proof that you meet up with people will obviously, it will just work wonders. You'll get reoccurring customers. You'll get a lot of repeat business. You'll get people meet you through there that have phones to sell in bulk, just a whole bunch of shit that will 100% happen. That's just a matter of time. So really your whole entire funnel, like, and then from there, so you get the phones, and then you're probably like, well, how do I sell these phones? Right? So you're just selling these phones straight to private buyers. So this is just a direct buyer, basically, is pretty much just somebody who buys any phone. They have a price sheet. They buy any phone, whether it could be new, it could be used, it could be cracked, it could be financed, it could be blacklisted. They buy just about every single type of phone, and that's why, well, basically, you're getting paid out as soon as possible, right? So I could pick up 10 phones today and sell all 10 the next day to these two private buyers, right? And the way, really, how you're going to find your private buyers is locally. I met mine through Facebook ads. You can meet yours through Facebook. You can find there's a lot of buyers out there that you can meet in several different places. A lot of people buy phones, right? But just my private buyers, they buy like every single phone. They buy phones in bulk. You get paid out like the same day. So private buyers are very, very useful. And that's basically how you're going to move 80 phones in a month. Because if you're just selling your phones on Facebook Marketplace, you're not going to be able to sell 80 phones in a month. Whereas if you're selling to private buyers, you're going to be able to sell them as soon as possible, as quick as possible. So even if you don't have the money to like buy 80 phones in a row, you don't have to, because you could buy 2 phones, 3 phones, 5 phones, 10 phones, ship them off to the buyer, get paid, and you're out back buying more phones, right? So instead of buying 5 phones, listing them all on Facebook and waiting days, if not weeks, for them to sell, you buy 5 phones, you buy 10 phones, you ship them off to the buyer, you get paid, and you're back out the next day buying more phones. So that's why you're able to rinse and repeat 80 phones in a single month. And that's why this whole entire thing gets put together so well, is because you're running Facebook ads to get these phones. Then through all this marketing and everything, you're building a crazy amount of trust, and then you're selling these phones straight to the private buyers, and that's what's going to enable you to move 80 phones in a month. It's just the private buyers, selling your phones straight to private buyers as quick as possible. You could absolutely dominate this whole entire space. So as long as you just have the right funnel in place, the private buyers, the Facebook ads, you could absolutely dominate. And this is exactly what I'm doing currently to make that $6,500 that I made in a single week. This is my whole entire process. I know it sounds very simple. That's because it is very simple. This is the solution right here. This is how you're going to sell 80 phones a month, and this is how you're going to be able to buy 80 phones a month, is by selling straight away to these private buyers and get your money back as quick as possible to reinvest right back into more phones. And that's how you're going to rinse and repeat this with 80 phones in a single month, and ultimately get to that $8,000 a month goal. So if you want help with this and you want to work with me one-on-one, I am taking on 10 people this month of June to work with me one-on-one, and I will either help you start from scratch or scale your phone flipping business. So if you are interested in that, you could click the first link in the description, and I'll just help you out with this whole entire process, very in-depth, and just give you my Facebook ad system, give you my private buyers that I personally work with. Other than that, I'll see you guys later.